Thousands of residents on the East Bank Berbice will soon benefit from the rehabilitation of the main access road. Residents are welcoming the project, which they describe as being more than 40 years overdue.
It's long overdue. It's 48. For this year, it's 49 years. We're waiting on this road from government to government, and we're grateful to see that this government come just in such a short time, and they live up to their promise. And it's shocking to know that this road will be commencing tomorrow. So it is nice to see that the government, take responsible for what they have promised and deliver to the people. And I hope that the people them that be doing the work will do a good job, and also be grateful to hear that people from the community will be selected to do this road. And as a member of Edinburgh Youth and Promotion Club and as also a resident of Edinburgh, I am overwhelmed of this knowledge that I have learned today.
I'm here this afternoon because of the Minister's presence, and I know the work going to commence soon on this East Bank Road. And I know for a fact this is about nearly 40 years, 40 years, this road is never in a good state. And residents complain all times, although you have previous governments that promises that the road going to fix in the best of its standard. But to date we didn't see that. And I know for a fact under this administration, Mr. David Patterson, what he has said here, and work going to commence tomorrow, I know they're going to do their best to make this road one of the best. There's a lot of agriculture places poured up to Mara and these places, right? They have a lot of produce that people bring out every day, actually, from Mara. And it's not about a few miles away. And going up the way, the road is kind of in a deplorable state also. Some part actually good. But again, with this project that's happening right now, and going to commence tomorrow, we're going to see that the difference with the people, most of these things will come out at a cheaper rate. Because these farmers now don't have to go through all this stress now with bad road, and they got to take the time and burn more fuel and so. So I'm telling you, again, I mentioned under this administration, we're going to see progress.
We've been here lobbying for this road for the past about 30 years. I could recall in time of Everton, we used bauxite capping to keep the road going. And I made a lot of sacrifice of using, I had trucks working in the bauxite company, and I just used my lorry freely to transport stuff, and got the Gaisuko grader with the region roller and the region engineer to support, to keep it maintained. Now that today we're going to be having the minister's commitment, and today they want to start tomorrow, I am extremely happy because the people suffered tremendously.
I am eternally grateful because I am 48 years of age, and since I'm living on the East Bank, Edinburgh, this road is like you have to say abortion alley and these things. And then to add insult to injury was when Mr. Jafar Ali was in the government representing persons on the East Bank concerning our roads. He made a statement like this, and it was in the Chronicle, that the East Bank doesn't have the population to require a new road. And he saw the plight of the people in the East Bank, knowing that Mara is the food basket for this entire region. And he did nothing to help. All he said was that the East Bank. And I am here to tell him the East Bank does have the population, and we do need a new road. And I am grateful that the ministers and them saw how we were suffering and punishing, and see it fit not only to promise, but to fulfill their promise by coming, so that the people on the East Bank can and will have the new road that we need to have.
The announcement was made by Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, accompanied by Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan, during a meeting with the residents.
I want to say that it may have come somewhat in a delayed reaction, but we had to get the monies out for this project. And the ministers in government, in cabinet, have been doing their best to ensure that the monies can be allocated for this project. Why it didn't happen earlier, understand the difficulties we do have. And so, yes, after a campaign in which we were here and people had made their complaints, we said that we are going to deliver. We are going to deliver now. And I want to congratulate the efforts of public infrastructure, Mr. David Patterson. You wouldn't know how active and energetic a minister you have in David Patterson. And quite frankly, in that cabinet, he is respected as the one that gets the things done at all levels of his ministry. If it's roads or bridges, emergency works, the rains that have created so much havoc in the interior, he delivers at the beck and call of any other minister or the president. And I want to say I am very proud of the fact that I have been his friend for a number of years. And yes, though not a Babishan, he loves you Babishans. I wouldn't want to steal his thunder, knowing very well that he has a number of good things to say about this project and execution time and quality work and all of that. So I want to say thanks, David, for giving me this opportunity. It was at short notice, quite frankly, but it is a good thing that we are all here to meet the claims and demands of our Barbicians to have a better road on the east bank of Berbice. Thank you very much.
The first phase of the road project will be constructed from Stanleytown and conclude at Everton Village. Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson explains.
Folks, I'm here because you called. Because the residents in this area, East Bank Berbice, have called and have been calling for years. Our records show that since 2009, there have been protest actions for the condition of this road. For whatever reason, various administrations. And my records show that in 2009, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, and then in January 2017, I got word that you were going to come out again. And at that stage, I think we decided enough is enough. We have to put this project on the front burner. A little background in the sense. The project, as you know, runs from Main Street, New Amsterdam. The entire stretch, because the Vice President Carbonis reminded me that it goes all the way up to Mara. And we have committed, and I have committed that we will get all the way there tomorrow. It will be done in phases, obviously. The road you have now currently only supports two-way traffic. I drove up to the end of Glasgow just now to see what was done just before coming here. And it is a very important artery for the residents in this area. Generally, as everybody knows, and that's why you're here, the road is in a poor state. The importance of this road to the communities, from the ordinary residential transportation and for agriculture purposes, cannot be overstressed. The overall objective of this project is to provide a solution to the current difficulties of using the roadway due to the deteriorating state. The Minister of Agriculture has also indicated the limitation for the agriculture sector down to the further areas down in towards Mara. The cost of transportation, he also indicated that is an extremely fertile and useful agriculture ground between here and Mara. At one time, used to supply almost the entire country. However, because one of the state of the road, secondly because of the removal of the river ferry, that the agriculture has declined. Well, not getting your produce out, the viability of planting there has declined. So before I continue anymore on the road, I want to tell you this, that we have committed, and that has been a personal commitment of mine, to get the ferry back running between here along the Berbice River. That's a personal commitment of mine, and I'm working at that. And as you can see from doing the road, you know that I will keep my word, because obviously, well, if not, the other David may fire me, so I have to keep my word. Huh? We did a traffic count. I mean, obviously, to do a road, you have to design the road. You also have to ensure that whatever you build can accommodate the traffic that is going to be on it. So we did a traffic count to designing the project, and it has been determined approximately 9,200 vehicles per day use this road. That's a significant volume of traffic. Obviously, there are certain areas, I mean, around Edinburgh, from here to Edinburgh, there's about 2,000, up to 2,000 vehicles per day. Up to Brothers, it's about 850 vehicles travel per day. And then by Lighttown, about 200. And obviously, and because of the state of the road between Lighttown and Maro, that's just about 200 vehicles a day. However, the overall traffic count, as we know, is about 9,200 vehicles per day. So we had to design a road to ensure it can accommodate that traffic, the 9,002 now, plus of course we obviously hope that everything else will increase. We are doing it in phases. This phase, I know is, let me remind me, the guys, I think it is supposed to be, no, I know it's Everton to Stanley Town, and we are supposed to be finished in 8 months. It's supposed to be finished in 8 months. I want to tell you the delay. We went out initially, soon as I took over the ministry, was so fortunate to be graced to be appointed minister. We asked the IDB to fund this project, and they did. However, we went out to tender, and when the tenders came back in, there were several difficulties with the tender, and it appeared to us in January this year that we may have to go out to another tender. And obviously, and that's about the same time in January when you were considering that we were not keeping our word, so I had a decision to make. So we went to the Ministry of Finance and we said, the road, this section of road, we had budgeted under the IDB $1.8 billion. I can get it done for $1.2 billion. Can you provide me with the money? And without any hesitation, the Minister of Finance said yes. So he asked me what is needed. We told him this project sum $1.2 billion, and he asked me how we're going to do it. I said I have a unit called the Special Projects Unit, who they're the ones that have been doing the general scrubbing and patching in the interim while we gear up to where we are today. So that was approved, and that is why I'm here today, to officially launch it, to tell you exactly what we're going to do and tell you what the opportunities, because with road works comes opportunities. And I said how it would be disrespectful, unfair to you in this area if we come here, don't let you know what opportunities are there for you. If we bring everything from out of from other regions of the country, I said to my team, we are only facilitators. This project should be a project for the persons from East Bank Berbice. So I'm here to tell you the scope of the works and the opportunities available to you. Generally, what we'll be doing, of course, you know, is site clearance and earthworks, sub-base, which is taking off what the materials you have here, building it up, and pavements. We'll be putting in pavements because obviously for our elderly and our vulnerable in the community, they should be able to traverse the new road safely. Because you know when you do a new road and you put on a new tarmac and thing, you know what's happening, people speed. All right, so even though by President Ramsey time we look at the speeding, I have to make sure just in case that the pavements are there. We're doing drainage, minor drainage work. We'll be having traffic signs and road markings. And of course, The first area I want to tell you to the local persons and the local contractors, there will be bridges and box culverts, concrete drains as well. And I expect that we will be tendering those out, and I hopefully, but not hopefully, we'll be tendering it out to ensure that persons in Berbice, from Berbice, get those contracts. Additionally, I have a team which I will be working here, but with our team we will be hiring approximately 20 to 30 other able-bodied persons, male or female, and these obviously will come from this area, from this East Bank Berbice area. So far, the Special Projects Unit, as you know, has been mobilized on the ground since March. Obviously, what they were doing is just ensuring that scraping, grubbing, and ensuring that the road is passable. Of course, we're now gearing up to do the full works. And obviously, the first thing we're going to be doing is clearing the drains and the structures, and then we'll be stockpiling materials. So therefore, that as well is another opportunity I want to give to tell you for persons with trucks and other such equipment. We obviously will be looking for some of them to hire to transport the material. But we'll be barging in the materials and then obviously trucking it to the site. So therefore, our persons here will have the job. I have a project team who will be here, and I want to I'll ask them to stand. And the only reason I'm asking them to stand so you can see their faces. I want you to mark their faces. I know you coming to me and complain if something go wrong, and you passing them on the road every single day. So when I call them, who is here? Stand up. Well, I see, look, they already started to stand. The head of the Special Projects Unit, Lawrence Mentes. Mark his face. Joel Tucker, is he here? Joel's not here. We have our Environmental Social Officer, Ms. Lucas, who won't be here. We have the Region 6 Clerk of Works. Where is he? We have, while there's Naeem, folks, this is Naeem is standing up. He won't be in anticipation his name being called. Raise your hand so they can see you, Naeem Mohammed from the Region 6. We have Marlon. He is the man on the ground. So if you think he is the person on the ground here all the time. Y'all know him, he's been around a little while. As I came up, I asked him if he behaved himself. He smiled and he says, somewhat. Yes, I just call the rest who is here. We have the design department, Nigel Erskine. Laboratory testing and testing equipment, we'd have Lloyda Amsterdam, but she's been using the laboratory services in Berbice, the institute as well as the ministry mobile lab. Traffic safety, that will be done by Stephen Fredericks. Procurement, the purchasing officer, somebody y'all get to know too, Miss Angela Brush. And of course the finance controller, Ms. Kamini John, and our auditor, Dexter Smith. Right now I have the foreman, this is Marlon, and 10 technical officers and 2 laborers, and I said we will be increasing that by hiring local persons. I have a question and answer after this, but before anybody who wants to know, send in to Mr. Vaughn, Mr. Mentes, you send in the applications to them, not to me. So yes, folks, commencing Monday morning, we'll be starting this road. Tomorrow morning, we'll be starting this road, and it will be completed in 8 months. And then immediately after that, the first phase, we will start mobilizing for the second phase. At the end, we will be at Mara. Right, we're just doing it in chunks. As the finance said, it's 1.2 now. There'll probably be another 1.2 at the end in 10 months' time, and that's how the money comes, and that's how we'll address it. So I want to give you our commitment. If you have any problems halfway through in 4 months' time, I'll come back and we have a similar meeting like this to find out if we have any difficulties. Because it's, you know how politicians come. He's coming to open up the thing and nice and got balloons and all these things and media, and then we never come back. But I'll be back to ensure that everything is going along the way it should. So with those few words, ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to let you know that the East Bank Berbice Road will commence from tomorrow until completion. Thank you very much.
The government-funded project will cost $1.2 billion and will be done in phases.